What is happening? Yo, it's your boy, back in a black tee, fresh and ready for today's 29th edition of ZML. Well, looks like we are not going to use that kind of language. Zack Miller Live, version 29, episode 29, whatever you want to call it. We live, homies and homegirls. Hope you guys are doing well. It's your boy, Zack Miller, here for another fruitful and amazing edition of Zack Miller Live. The most charismatic and exciting couple of minutes of your day, usually sometime around 2:30 Eastern Time. It's 2:48 as I press go. I'm a little late. Don't hate. Sorry. I had a lunch meeting that didn't run late, but sometimes you just go with the punches. And so here I am. I'm ready. I had no idea what I was going to talk about last night, but something happened and it was magical. And so I'm excited to kind of talk about a success story, even though it's not necessarily a success story yet. We're still working through it, but oh, this is so exciting. Okay, so last night I was perusing the internet roughly around, let's see, what time do I think it was? It was probably 7 o'clock last night, let's just say, give or take. That was weird. Sorry about that. And I saw something from someone who has influence where I live. And I knew that one of my favorite guests on Zack Miller Live, or someone that tunes in a lot, Stanley, could potentially help this person. And so I did a series of things that I'm going to walk you through step by step and show you exactly how to find influencers. Actually, what an influencer is too, I guess. And I'm on the last page of my old notebook, by the way, so like we're getting ready for the other thing. So find influencers. And I like to take notes as I do this so I can help you guys out too. So find influencers. What's up, Chris Tillett? Find influencers. Why influencers? And then a couple other things as well. Okay, so an influencer is someone that already has clout in the space that you want to be in. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a competitor, but it's likely someone who has some sort of notoriety or authority in a space, an industry, or a business or location that you're looking to get into, right? And so it could be someone super famous like Kim Kardashian in fashion or something like that. It could be someone in music like the Beatles. Hey, Jude. Or someone that's a little bit smaller. So maybe it's a YouTube sensation. Maybe someone that's popular on Twitter. It could be a number of different things. It just depends on the topic of choice. It could be someone that my mom watches as she's crocheting, or my dad is watching as he's trying to learn how to do graphic design work, right? An influencer is someone that you see as someone that can help you, that has more influence or authority in the space that you are in, or looking to basically create more knowledge in or become more popular in. So that's what an influencer is. So with me, it could be like, oh, you guys think that Zack Miller is someone that has is credible and is an authority or has influence in being an anomaly, wearing black t-shirts, having amazing hair, marketing guy, championship belt, Fitbit wearing. That's a lie. I don't wear that Fitbit anymore. Shout out to my main man, Desmond Varner. But my thing is, whatever that thing is that you are trying to get clout in, there's probably someone else who already has influence in that thing. I've been told that I use the word thing too much, so I'm trying not to use the word thing, but whatever that industry, that business, that book, that subject, etc., that person has influence in it. So that's why an influencer is important. So last night, by finding these people and creating relationships with them and helping them, you can actually leverage their market to help expand yours, get business, get more clout, get influences, get influence in general. All these things that can help you by just connecting with people that are already that person in your space. And it's kind of a popular thing now where people are like, oh, this person's super famous. If I can make friends with them, maybe they can help me with something. Right? That's cool. Whatever. So last night around 7 o'clock, I see that I guess, old friend of mine, someone who enjoys football, enjoys the New Orleans Saints, and I used to work with when I worked in that devilish thing called television news. His name is Blaine Stewart. He's an anchor, the morning anchor, I believe, for a TV station in the southeastern part of Virginia. Don't have to say Virginia twice, Zach. See, even I, who speak for a living, have problems with speaking. So I see that he posts this message. Okay, I'm going to show you this. Okay, so also remember that I know that Stanley owns a bow tie business. Remember, he just started the podcast recently. He's been looking for other ways to get in contact, to create content. And he's a big time follower of Zack Miller Live. And so by knowing a little bit about him, I was like, maybe something can go on here. So Blaine is an anchor of the TV news in southeastern Virginia. And he posts this. He says, I have a week and a half to learn how to tie a bow tie. I've been practicing for the past 3 nights and haven't gotten any better. Why does it have to be so hard? That's what she said. I appreciate that. That's funny. So Blaine says that. Okay. I then go in and I comment. And I say, Stanley Sparrow can help you out. Now, other people have put on here, like, here's how to tie a tie and all this other stuff, like videos and stuff like that. And so I immediately go and I message Stanley. And this is in real time, so I want to show you guys this. So I message Stanley and I say, let me find it. Okay, here we go. It was at 6:47 last night. Okay, so I say to Stanley, I say to Stanley, get Blaine Stewart to wear your bow tie and give you a shout out. He's your influencer. Right? So I'm having that message with him. So I start this conversation with him. And he goes, okay, absolutely will. I said, comment on my comment, then friend him and DM him and help him. Help this guy out. Right? So Blaine, who's an influencer, who wears a tie basically every single day, is saying, hey, I need help. Remember, Blaine says, I need help tying a tie. And so I tell Stanley, who has a business around ties and accessories and lapels, hey, help this guy out. Help him tie his tie. He's struggling with it. And he goes, well, I can't find him. I said, okay. So there was some sort of blocking mechanism in there with Facebook. Whatever. Doesn't matter. So then I basically go in and I do a two-way message. The two-way message, which I'm trying to find, which I can't find. This is ridiculous. There it is. I message them too. And I say, Blaine, I want to connect you with Stanley. He owns a local bow tie accessory business and is the king of style. He can help you tie a bow tie and even try some funky styles to give you killer swag. He goes, Zach, 3 exclamation points, because I'm awesome. You're the man. Thank you. Thanks so much for the connection. And hello, Stanley. I'd love to check out your stuff and have you teach me the way. Haha. And then I say, if I wore ties, I would buy from him, but I'm a t-shirt kind of guy. Represent. Yo. Stanley goes, hey there, Blaine Stewart. I'd be glad to show you some of my accessories. And then I am literally yelling at Stanley at the same time. He's now watching this now. So I told him I was going to do this. So then I go to Stanley and I say, I'm trying to go over this entire thing. I say to Stanley, basically stop selling. So Stanley is selling the guy. He's like, oh, check out your accessories. And I'm like, no, no, no. Why? Because to be the anomaly, you have to help someone first. And if what you're trying to do is simply say, yo, go buy my thing, you're not creating that friendship. You're not creating that relationship. I'm sitting there going, don't sell them. So he sends them the link. And I'm like, no, Stanley, no, 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 no. Ah! But then I get him to recover. And I basically say, ask him what is going wrong. Tell him that you can meet with him or that you can send him a video. And I chime in and I say, hey, Blaine. So this is on the two-way message. And then I'm also having a one-on-one message. So it's me, Blaine, and Stanley having a message together. And then it's me and Stanley. And Blaine doesn't know that this happened. Then it's me and Stanley. I'm basically coaching him through this thing like, go do this thing. It's freaking awesome. It was a lot of fun to do. So I'm having this conversation, and I basically am guiding him through this whole process, this whole thing. So I basically am trying to tell him, do not sell. The sale will happen later if you can help Blaine learn how to tie a tie. So I come in and I say, Blaine, what seems to be the problem? Because Blaine just said, hey, I need to learn how to tie a tie, but we don't know what is working, what's not. So Blaine then, so I'm on the one-on-one message saying, Stanley, tell him you'll send him a custom video or that you can meet up with him. And then I ask Blaine, what's the challenge? Blaine then says, well, I've been watching a million videos, but I still can't get to like step 3. And then I get on to message with Stanley and I go, do not send him, don't tell him you'll send him a video because he just told us that the video isn't working. So I didn't tell Stanley, hey, tell him that you can help him by meeting up with him. So they live in the same market, so they can do this, okay? If you don't live in the same market, you could say, hey, let's hop on a Skype call, a video call, a Zoom, a Google Hangout, and I'll walk you through that step by step. Now remember, Stanley messed up here by trying to sell. And the challenge with selling is that even though the person might be a prime customer, if you can help them first, they're going to become forever indebted to you. They're gonna be like loving you. And so Blaine is at the problem, so he's got to go like, I think the mayor's ball or something, and he's like, I'm gonna tie a tie, but he can't figure it out. So if you can be that person to help him with that, guess what's gonna happen? Forever he will be grateful and probably buy from you and probably tell others. Remember, Blaine wears a tie every day to work. So imagine if he's wearing Stanley's tie one day, he can go, oh yo, shout out to Stanley's company, La Lapel. Now it's in front of millions of people. All by doing one thing, helping them. So we're trying to deep dive and figure out what really is the challenge. Blaine says, the videos aren't helping. I just can't get past step 3. So Stanley comes in and says, I basically say, hey, tell him you'll meet up with him. And then Stanley goes, cool, we can meet up. And I'm like, no. Don't just say that. Give him a time. And so he says, I think it's something like Wednesday next week or something. And by not selling, guess what? You create a forever relationship with someone, which is so freaking important, and that's the whole purpose of this. So if you want to connect with someone, help them first, right? I'm not saying, like, troll people or find someone forever and help them with everything. I'm like, find someone that you think has clout in your space, right? In this case, people who wear ties, right? And then when they're complaining about something or they show some sort of pain point, connect with them and see how you can help them. So in this case, I was friends with him, I tagged him, and I was able to connect them. But you could do that on your own by just saying, hey, here's this thing, right? Maybe someone's like, how do I start a podcast, right? And you could send them one of my videos, right? Or you could say, how do I become the anomaly? You could send them one of my videos, right? Or how to tie a tie, and you connect them with Stanley, right? And so it's creating that relationship with someone or following the people that you need to that are influencers in your space because you're not one yet. Or if you are, you're trying to create influence with others. Then what you do is you help them. You're not selling them anything. Nothing. You're selling them help. And in this case, think about it. How hard, like Stanley knows how to probably tie a tie blindfolded. eyes closed, hands wrapped around, hands behind his back, whatever. Hands up, one-handed. So this is stuff that he knows big time, right? But instead of just saying, hey, go buy my thing, which Blaine would, or whoever is going to just ignore every single time. Imagine if instead what Stanley would have done in this case is he would have posted on there, oh, buy my tie and I'll send it to you tied. That's not going to work. But instead what you need to do is solve that person's problem and make it as easy and as seamless as possible. Because what happens is those people with clout, those people with authority, those people with influence, they fall in love with you and they become your friends, right? I do it to Stanley right now. I'm helping him. And he is probably going to share my stuff, probably going to buy my things because I'm helping him. So if you are looking how to find influence, well, first, why influence? Because someone already has that, and you're basically trying to create a relationship with them, to learn from them, to create relationships with, to be able to leverage, to maybe create more influence for you, get business from, go to conferences with, just make friends, whatever. I mean, there's so many different reasons why an influencer is important. But then where do you find them? Well, just find out the people that are like your targets and figure out what they're doing every day, right? If it's someone who drives across country every day because they are a truck driver, and you sell a truck driver tool, get to rest stops. Create relationships with those people there, right? The cashier's there. Influencers don't have to be this super big, super sexy thing either. They just have to have influence on someone. So imagine that cash register at the truck stop and being like, yo, well, why don't you check this out? Check out this podcast. Whatever it is. And then when they have a showing of, mercy, I need help. Stop them and help them. It's a pretty magical thing. And then what happens is they buy from you. So this is a TBD, right? So Stanley has not met with him yet, at least to my knowledge. But my guess is what's going to happen is he's going to help him. Then Blaine is going to want to give back, because this is kind of just what happens. And he's going to say, man, I'm at the mayor's ball and I'm super excited that I learned how to tie a tie. Thank you so much, Stanley Sparrow of La Lapel Business, who taught me finally how to tie this tie, even when I couldn't, through millions of videos on YouTube, Facebook, whatever. And then that clout, that influence, that person who has what you want is selling you to their fans, their followers, and their friends. Isn't that glorious? Glorious. And that, my friends, is how to find, land, win, and help influencers. It's your boy, Zack Miller, episode 29, Zack Miller Live. And I'm excited to teach you a lot of new things. Phew. That's it. You want influence? You want to get in front of influencers? Watch the previous 18 minutes and 38 seconds of these videos. That's all you have to do. Not everyone is going to say yes. Not everyone is going to connect with you. But if you do this over and over again, that, my friends, is the anomaly way. And that, my friends, is how to do it. Prove me wrong. Try this style and tell me it doesn't work. Because it does. And it will. And it will do everything you want it to do. Appreciate your time. 5 days. Friday is tomorrow. Tomorrow, where I talk about the 5 burning topics on my mind. Ooh, I'm excited about this one. 5 Days Friday. Some of you have said it's your favorite show of mine. Well, wonderful. 5 Days Friday is tomorrow. Check it out. If you want influencers to see you, help them. Zack Miller Live, episode 29, out!